Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Origins. In this episode we're going to be looking at the legendary Beast Trio from Johto. Also I'm going to be joined by a special guest, Tricky Wee. Right, so the way I'm going to work this is I'm going to introduce the Pokemon and then hand over to Tricky where she'll do the designs, and then I will come back to do the extra details and the naming of them. So first we have Raikou. Its Japanese name is the same as its English name. It is the Thunder Pokemon. It's number 243 in the National Dex and stands at 1.9 meters tall or 6 foot 3 inches, and it weighs 178 kilograms or 392.4 pounds. As I've already mentioned, Raikou is a member of the legendary Beast Trio.
Moving on to his design, he appears to be a yellow tiger-like creature with black stripes that resemble lightning bolts, and has white belly fur. Raikou has a grayish-purple cape that is supposedly made of thunderclouds, and have a skinny light blue tail with an electric spark formation at its peak. It has a gray crest upon its forehead and a light blue X on its face. Jutting from its upper jaws are two long fangs, which give it the appearance similar to the saber-toothed cat. Raikou is based off of the thunder and lightning gods that appear in most cultures all around the world, but is the most similar to the Raikou. This creature could take the form of a tiger, monkey, and the wolf that is surrounded by lightning. While Raikou is based off of its tiger form, Manectric is based off of its wolf form. It has many tiger-like features like being stealthy, powerful, and swift. Also, the gray plate upon its head signifies courage and might.
And now I'm back to tell you more about the extra details. Raikou is a genderless Pokemon, so therefore no gender differences. And its shiny form has kind of darker orange fur than its normal form, with a grey tail and an X on its forehead, and it also has a tan coloured cape. Pokédex entries tell us that Raikou descends with lightning and that its cry sounds like crashing thunder, so a very centric lightning thunder Pokemon. Name-wise, Raikou literally means lightning, and Rai means thunder, Kou is emperor, and Raikou means thunder duke. Now moving on to Entei, it is the volcano Pokemon. It is number 244 in the National Dex and stands at 2.1 meters tall or 6 foot 11 inches and weighs 198 kilograms or 436.5 pounds. Entei is the second member of the legendary Beast Trio.
Moving on to his design, he appears to be a lion-like creature with Mastiff or Saint Bernard qualities. These breeds of dogs are known for its power and size. This creature has a thick mane and is covered in brown fur. Entei has a cape of white fur upon its back. This cape is surrounded by gray spike plates, which is supposed to resemble smoke rising out of a volcano crater. A smaller gray plate is underneath its cream belly fur. It has white paws that contain retractable razor-sharp claws, and has black bands around each of its legs. It has a red face and a yellow three-point crest upon its forehead. Upon its face, it possesses a white plate that vaguely resembles a handlebar mustache. Its entire face is supposed to resemble a stylized crown or a samurai helmet. Entei are based off of Chinese guardian lions, or lions of Fu. Sometimes they are often confused with canines and incorrectly called Fu dogs by Westerners. Like gargoyles, these creatures were often seen serving as powerful guardians within temples, and usually, the image of a ferocious beast would scare intruders away. Its mask-like face also gives it the impression that Entei was based off of Barong, a legendary lion spirit who killed a witch in order to maintain balance of good and evil.
Entei is a genderless Pokemon like the others, so therefore there are no gender differences, and Entei's shiny form has a grey face, cape and paws. Pokédex entries tell us that when it roars, a volcano erupts, but also that a new Entei is born every time a volcano erupts, so kind of conflicting evidence there. The name Entei comes from Enten, meaning blazing heat, En meaning flame, and Kotei meaning emperor. And finally on to Suicune now. It is the Aurora Pokemon. It is number 245 in the National Dex and stands at 2 meters tall or 6 foot 7 inches and weighs 187 kilograms or 412.3 pounds. It is the final member of the legendary Beast Trio.
Moving on to its design, this Pokemon has a blue body with white diamond-shaped markings. The spots of Suicune could also be based off of Fujin, the Shinto god of the North Wind, who wore leopard skin. It has a white underside, and like the other two legendaries, it has a cape-like mane. The mane is purple and resembles a northern aurora or a flowing river. It has 2 white streamer-like tails that elegantly flow in the wind. Suicune has a long white snout, and unlike Entei or Raikou, its teeth are blunt like a herbivore. Suicune has an aquamarine colored crest on its forehead that resembles an antler of the Quilin, a mythical Chinese chimera creature known throughout various Asian cultures. It has a small protrusion on the underside of its chin, and has small paws which have small white ovals underneath.
Suicune is a genderless Pokemon, so therefore there are no gender differences, and its shiny form has a blue coloured mane with lighter blue fur. Pokédex entries tell us that Suicune can purify dirty water, which would be very helpful in the current world, and that it moves with the north wind. The name Suicune comes from Sui meaning water, Kun meaning monarch, and Suisho meaning crystal, which obviously Suicune is the mascot for. Now, before we go on to the size comparisons and sprite comparisons this episode, I'm going to go through the legend that surrounds the legendary beast trio. Some of you may know of it, but might not be sure of the details. Basically, in Critique City one time, there was the Brass Tower and the Tin Tower. Lugia rested atop the Brass Tower and Ho-Oh the Tin Tower. However, a lightning bolt struck the Brass Tower, setting it alight, and it burnt. Now, 3 Pokemon died in the blaze, and Ho-Oh revived them. These Pokemon then became Raikou, Entei and Suicune. The Pokemon embody the 3 events that happened. Raikou is the lightning that struck the tower, Entei is a fire that burnt through it, and Suicune is the rain and winds that put it out. Now, there are many theories about whether the Pokemon were Raikou, Entei or Suicune before and were just revived, and these were kind of the original ones, or whether they were other Pokemon and turned into legendary beasts. Now, what I believe personally, and what may be true, is that these 3 Pokemon were a Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. The reason I believe this is that the Evolution's special abilities are the same as the legendary beasts' normal abilities, and vice versa, so, it's very similar but not confirmed, so it is possible they were the first members of their respective species, but they weren't unique really, because Entei with Volcano in the Pokédex, and obviously Raikou coming down on a Thunderbolt. You also see them in other games like Pokemon Ranger and such like that. So as you can see with the size comparisons here, they are pretty big people, much taller than me, well not much taller but a bit taller than me, and yeah, they are pretty big, so I wouldn't mess with these guys. If we first look at Raikou's sprites, you can see in Gold and Silver it is very much the same as what we see now, apart from obviously some blending issues, and it's a bit yellower, it's a bit bright yellow in the original games. Same with Crystal, but as we get to Generation 3 it gets more of an orange-yellow coloured skin, and it carries that through to Generation 4 and Generation 5. In Gold and Soul Silver, its cape does get a kind of a dark purple instead of the lighter purple, and then it kind of gets a mix between in Generation 5. Very similar with Entei here. In Gold and Silver it seems to have more orange fur, whereas it gets darker brown in Crystal, and then carries that through to Generation 3, and then it gets darker again really in Generation 4, and gets a bit lighter again in Generation 5. Apart from that, its sprites stay pretty much the same throughout all the games. And finally now looking at Suicune, not much to say here again. Its sprite in Crystal compared to Gold and Silver is a lot more clearer. You can see kind of the kind of wisps of wind off its side. They kind of separate more from the body, and it's a lot easier to see. And yeah, not much to say again, carrying these changes through down to Generation 4 and Generation 5.